This is Dakota EduTablet, and here we have the EduTab 10 Pro. It is actual 4 gig RAM on 64 gig internal storage. So you can have it in this particular case, which is a 360 case that provides, has extra layer that provides extra shield for the screen. You can also have it in a keyboard case, and we have the 360 case in different cases, in different color case. All right, sure. Our programs are from nursery to the senior high level. From nursery to the senior high level. So today I'm going to demonstrate how you can use our EduTab 10 Pro 4 gig RAM, 64 gig internal storage to learn as a senior high school student. So from here you can see that we have the nursery folder, PG, class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5, GHS 1 and class 6, GHS 2, GHS 3, then BC. Here is the SHS folder. Please tap on it. You open the Opera. So when you open it, it has been categorized into 8 respective courses. We have the science, we have the general arts, we have the maths, we have the English. So we'll go through all of them one by one to see what you have. So when you come to science, we have it in biology, we have it in chemistry, we have some in physics. So when you go to biology, we have biology part 1, biology part 2, biology part 3. When you come to biology part 1, we have the anatomy of a neuron, photosynthesis, plants, circulatory system and the heart, all of this here. You come back here, part 2, we have cancer cells, diffusion, osmosis, electron transport chain, the intelligent design, evolution, introduction to evolution, natural selection. We have all of them here. You can have access to all of this information without the internet. So when we come to class 3, the type 3 or the third folder, we have anatomy of a muscle cell, ape clarification, hemoglobin, inflammatory response, oxidation, all of them here. You can have access to all of this without the internet. All right, so we are done with the biology. When we come to the chemistry aspect too, they are in 3 parts. Part 1, we have the acid-base introduction, another mass composition, introduction to oxidation state, introduction to the pH, microstate, and loads of them here, the redox reaction, all of them here. You come back, you move to part 2, we have balanced chemical equation, which is very key, boiling point, elevation, and freezing point, depression, all of them here, formula from mass composition, all of them here. You can have access to all of these without the internet. And you can only have this at Dakota EduTablet. So we have part 3, then all of this here as well, all of these informations here, water, pressure, vapor, all of them here. All right, so we are done with the chemistry. Let's move to the physics aspect. The physics aspect is also into what? Into 6 parts. Part 1, we have acceleration due to gravity. We have the buoyant force examples, launching and landing on different elevation, all of them here. So you have part 2 here, 2-dimensional momentum problem, introduction to gravity, all of them here. All of them here. So you are covered if you are in the senior high school level. So this is what part 4, work and energy here, introduction to spring and Hooke's law, introduction to mechanical advantage, all of them here. Part 5 is the centripetal forces and gravity. So gravitation, centripetal force and gravitation, all of them here. So these are videos that explain into details everything that you need to know about that. Yeah. All right. So we are done with the science. Let's go to the general arts. So general arts, we have the economics, we have the French, and we have geography. So let's move to the economic part. We have them in 4 parts. We have part 1 to part 4. Here, let's go to part 1. So here we have the microeconomics, constant unit elasticity, cross, elasticity of demand, inferior goods, clarification, money supply. You have all of this. All right, so up to part 4. So all of this up to part 4. All right, so let's come to the geography as well, human geography, all of them. So you can only get this at Dakota EduTablet. So you can grab yours now and your child will thank you. All right, so we are done with the geography, the French aspect too, French 1, French 2. Then you move on, then that is it. All right, so let's come to the math. So the math, we have it core math and e-math. So when it comes to the core math, we have the Acada folder. When you open it, addition of numbers in other bases, conversion from other bases to base 10, indices, number-based system, standard form, all of them here, and so many other important videos. Yes. Algebra as well. You can get abstract, introduction to algebra, linear equation, all of them here. You can get all of them here. So by the time the child is done with the information on this tablet, the child would already be acquainted with the needed set skills and knowledge to pass his or her WASSCE with flying colors. That's what we, Dakota EduTablet, we stand for. Quality education is our hallmark. Educating your child anywhere, anytime. So we are done with the core math. We come to the e-math as well. A lot, calculus, trigonometry. Calculus is one of the problematic, courses that most students are afraid of. We have it more explained. We come to the English part as well. We have core English here. We have the SAT reading and writing. So even if your child wants to write the SAT after WASSCE, this particular information will help the child as well. We have it English comprehension, English grammar, essay writing, lessons and structure, and we also have summary writing. All of them here. Reasoning within the test, all of them here. All of them here. So come to the SAT, we have history and social studies, literature, science, social science, and writing. All of them here. All right, so here, let's now go and see what is in each particular, folder. Here, the anatomy of a neuron. So let's tap on anatomy of a neuron and let's see what it contains.
We could have a debate about what the most interesting cell in the human body is.
So here, you can come here.
In the middle, you have other functions, but these tend to be axon terminal. Up the myelin sheath hillock, and if they're large enough, they're going to trigger an action potential
one aspect of it.
On the
photosynthesis here. One aspect of it here. Let's look at it.
In the last video, we discovered what seems like it was up a bunch of ATPs and NADHs. So this is a problem. If there's a lot of oxygen present, or even if there's
all right.
So you have an oxaloacetic acid,
Here, so this is for the science part 1. Come here, part 2, diffusion, osmosis, membranes and transport. You have it here.
In this video, I want to cover several topics that are all related. There is less of, so more. Well, this system, that means that they have not that direction.
There you have
that direction. A complete.
There we have it. A comprehensive video for your child. Introduction to heredity. There you have it here.
Well before we even knew what DNA was, much less how it was structured or was replicated, or even before we could look in and see meiosis happening in cells, we had the general sense that offspring were the products of some more big teeth. This is a gross oversimplification, but if...
Alright, so this is one for the biology, chemistry as well. We have it. Let's go to part 2, balancing chemical equation. Very key part of.
Like the concept of the mole, balancing equations is one of those ideas that you learn in first-year chemistry class. It tends to give a lot of students a hard time, even though 1.5 times 2 is 3. So now, let me put a 2 in front of the one. Carbon do we have? I have 4 carbons here. I have 4 carbons here. How much hydrogen do I have? I have 2 times 6.
So that is that. That is it. So let's move to another one, which is the general arts. Let's come to economics here. Let's go to part 1. Let's see changes in market equilibrium. Let's see here. Let's see what this particular video entails.
What I want to do with this video is think about how supply and or demand might change based on changes in some factors in the market. And then think about what that might is before. And then a study is with a good advertising campaign.
Dakota EduTablet got you covered. Dakota EduTablet got you covered. So that is it. So when the child comes back from school, the child can have this particular tablet and the child will be learning very, very, very well. So let's go to the math. Let's come to the e-math. Here calculus, problem solving here. Here we have.
Find the 8th term of the sequence 1440, 1716, 1800, and 1540.
It's going
So
to
we're
teach you
already
how
making
to
some
solve
headway. 2mn,
So
148, 148.
So that is it. Come to English, core writing, maybe essay writing. This one, for instance.
It's okay to write one introduction, 2 paragraphs. That's okay. If you don't have a hook this long, of course, you're not going to need 2 paragraphs. Okay, what's in the body?
There we
In the
have
body, the 3 main ideas that you put in the introduction will be the 3 paragraphs.
So that is it. All right. Thank you very much.